What's going on, YouTube? I have not forgotten about you guys. It's been a few days since I posted a video, and I know we've been on this road to 500K doing this almost daily content, and I haven't forgot about it. I've just been doing a class, so we just got through with a 4-day course, and I want to give them my all. I was getting home late, but it was a great course, great people, and now we back on this grind, this road to 500K. So with that being said, man, I haven't forgot about y'all. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. Let's get started. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Good. Yourself?
Good, man. Thank you for coming out all the way from Rochester, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. You here for like vacation?
Yep.
Dope, man.
Family.
Cool, man. So what are you getting done today?
I like kind of a mid fade, high fade. Right here, it kind of recedes a little bit underneath, so I like that. Keep that a little bit in the front.
Okay.
So.
Do you have a particular length that you typically do on top?
Not really. I'm trying to. For a while, I had like the choppy crop on top, and I like that. I'm in the process of growing it back. Okay. So
okay. Cool. All right. So I'll just not necessarily leave the top, but I'll go through it and kind of cross check it and maybe add a little bit of texture to it, but try to keep as much length as possible. Yeah. And then you said mid to high fade on the sides?
Mid to high fade.
Okay, and what about your beard?
The beard, I kind of like the length. If you just taper it in, fade it in, knock it down a little bit.
Okay.
So just kind of clean it up.
Clean it up. Okay.
Yeah, my mustache, I normally, you can see the kind of the line. It's like about halfway on my lip. So
perfect. Cool,
man.
Awesome, man. Let's do it. Thank you, man.
All right, YouTube, so we back on the grind. We're gonna do this haircut real quick. We're gonna blow through this bulk with a 1.5 guard going off the ridge, cause you heard in the consultation, he doesn't want anything off the top. We're gonna add some texture. He's trying to get back to that crop vibe, and so, you know, we're gonna blast through the sides. We didn't have to really start with the top. And I know y'all see it. I know y'all see the the custom FXs. So if you guys pay attention, you watch the vlogs, and you would have seen the video where I talked about pretty much the craziest experience buying a clipper. You can go back and watch that video. But these are factory. Like, this whole customized, and I know y'all noticed the power clip attached to the bottom. So all of those are factory. I didn't paint them. We were offering, you know, matching colors for the custom FXs with Babyliss. It was just a quick collab, and yeah, it was dope. So anyways, once we blasted through that 1.5 guard, we went ahead and started to bald it out at the bottom, since we're doing a bald fade, and we're starting our initial guideline, prepping everything, getting it ready for a blurry fade. And look how these trimmings just blow through the hair, man. Alright, and like always, we're gonna follow it up with the shaver, get it nice and smooth on the side. This used to be like my favorite part of the haircut when I would get a fade. Before I was a barber, I always used to just touch the side of my head or the back of my head. My girl would do it, and you know, just to, you know, it just, I don't know, it was a must. It was almost like not using the razor with a lineup. That's a no-no. It was a must for me, and it made me feel like the haircut was next level. And that was something I truly remember before I became a barber. And I feel like sometimes barbers, we forget, you know what I'm saying, like as customers, as clients, what we wanted in a barber, you feel me? So next step anyways is the blade all the way open. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about my new clippers, my custom FXs, and they cutting beautifully. So blade is all the way open, and we're creating our next guideline. The only thing what I want to do though, I want to get a pair where the silver is white, I feel like. But it looks good in silver too. It's different, you know what I mean? Alright, so anyways, now I'm using the number 1 open, and we're going to go ahead and start to blend down from there. So number 1 open. Alright, number 1 closed right beneath that. We're just taking our time because we have 2 guidelines that we got to get rid of. And you can see I'm starting to plug away at that guideline there, and it's starting to lighten up a bit with that number 1 close, right? Shout out to my cousin for the beat, Tito Beats. Link is in the description if you want some beats. He been putting in work. Alright, number 1 close on this side as well. So first we did 1 open, then number 1 closed. Alright, so now we're using the half guard, and this should get rid of that guideline. That guideline that was there previously, you can see it's gone. Now we're gonna start working on that initial guideline, and we're closing the clipper as we go down to erase that bottom line. And just say I know our model today in the chair, he came all the way down from Rochester, New York. He's got some family about an hour and like 15 minutes, I would say, north of Tampa. And he was like, yo, while I'm down here, I'm gonna come check out your boy Bossio. So he booked an appointment, he came through, and I've been to Rochester and actually been to the school that he went to and graduated from to become a barber. And I just thought it was dope, man. The industry really is kind of like it's a big industry, but like it's a small one too. It's crazy how that works, because I went to his school and I met the school owners like 2.5, 3 years ago. And things just be coming full circle sometimes. So I'm taking my time, closing little by little, you know what I'm saying? And at this point, I believe we're all the way closed. And I was having a little bit of a tough time taking out this bottom line. Maybe I just gotta adjust my tools a little bit, because again, these are new clippers. Maybe I'm just getting used to them, but it was nothing that the trimmers couldn't go back and take out. It really isn't a big deal. It's not that hard. Like you just drop down to that trimmer and it takes the line right out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes we overdo the whole, if you put that line in with that trimmer, it's gonna be hard to take out. Just grab your trimmers and pluck it out. It's so easy to do. I don't mean it like that. You guys get what I mean. Like, it's not like it's impossible to do. I'm sorry. Alright, so anyways, now there was a ridge there above that 1.5 guard that we used in the beginning. So I'm going to soften it up with the number 3 and then number 2 open and then number 2 closed. I feel like the blend is pretty blurry right now. Cool, so we're gonna do the same steps on this side, except since I just did the number 3 and number 2 and I realized I needed to soften up that ridge a bit. While I have the guard in my hands on my clip already and I have that in my mind, I'm just gonna start with the number 3, then the 2 open, then the 2 close, and then start to blend down from there. Damn, these clippers with the power clip look crazy. Alright, so you guys remember we started off the cut with the 1.5 guard, but I'm going down anyways. So even though I already did a 1.5, since I did the 2 close just to be safe, I went to 1.5 guard, and then now we're gonna go ahead and start to take out that bottom line with the half guard. Okay, so once that line is gone, We're gonna start to blend down from there, blade open, start to close it down until that bottom line, that initial guideline, is completely gone. We might have to, remember, we might have to jump back to our trimmers to take care of that, right? Before, you know, maybe I just need to make some adjustments like I said earlier, but before I used to be able to take out that line real quick with my Gold FXs. So I'm gonna play with it a little bit and see what I need to do to make it a little bit easier, but if I can't, it's not a big deal. These things are running like champs. I could just get that bottom line out with the trimmers. It's no biggie. And just a heads up, guys, I will be in Atlanta this weekend for the Bronner Brother Hair Show. We will have a booth there, so come check us out. And then I'll have a panel with my boy Rob about business and branding, and we always do some panels in the auditorium. So look up for that class at Bronner Brother if you're gonna be there. We'll be in Atlanta. I feel like I'm in Atlanta like 100 times a year. Alright, and I accidentally skipped some of this, but you know, we cleaned up the bottom line, and then we used the trimmers to go ahead and attack that like we did on the other side. And then my final step is just bringing those two sides together here in the back. For some of you guys, this trick right here, not a trick, but this process right here might help you a little bit more, because some of you guys struggle with the back, keeping it as light as you do on the sides. So this will help you kind of gauge you know, how the back should look in order to work with the sides. And when I'm doing this, you can see I'm kind of leading with my corners. I think it's starting to come out pretty blurry though. Alright, so pretty much the sides are done in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and start to blend this side of the beard in. And we're using the same steps, you know, that we did on the sides of his head. We're doing, except it's going from the bottom up, right? From the bottom up, it's going from longer to shorter, as opposed to from the bottom up, it's going from shorter to longer. So with his lineup, it was kind of tough because his vertical bars are just super short, and he wanted a higher to mid fade. And so it's like one of those things where if I was to really try to erase that C-cup area, we'd be really high, because his C-cup, his vertical bars are so high, like and then they're small, right? So the C-cup ends really high, his vertical bar is really short, and then he wants to keep fringe because he wants that cropped look. That's a tough call. So I just kind of made it a light, really light C-cup, but I still think it looks good. Alright, so we lined it up real quick with the trimmer, but we're gonna follow it up with these shears cutting directly into the hair. You don't want to cut at an angle, you want to cut directly into it, just to soften it up so it doesn't look like you just cut it blunt with trimmers. And then I'm gonna come through, taking small sections of his hair and just thin it out even more around the fringe area. And the reason why he has hair on his face is because I'm texturizing. But that's been a struggle. Not having an air hose in the shop has been a struggle. Been trying to use the blow dryer and a neck duster, yeah. Alright, so we're putting clay in his hair, making it messy, giving it that textured look, enhancing the texture that we just cut in. And now we're gonna follow it up with putting that razor on there. This is a must. So we put the Tomb 45 shave gel, which you can get at tomb45.com. And now we're gonna make this thing as sharp as we can possibly make it. We have to get a little bit cosmetic. He has a lot of new growth that you can see there. We're just gonna go ahead and lower that just a tad bit more, just to make that line a little bit more solid. Okay. And you notice I'm constantly combing the hair because I want to remove that shave gel, any excess debris. I want to see the line for what it is. Using a lot of my corners of my razor. And you can see I use the same trimmer that I use for his lineup, for balding him out. I use it for his neckline to clear out the bulk. And I'm able to do that because my trimmers are not super sharp. They're good enough to do it all. They're versatile, and that's how I love my trimmer set. Alright, so we're just going to enhance the vertical bars real quick, just to give that gradients, that fade a little bit more pop. It's not necessarily about making it a sharper line, but that making the hairline darker seems to make a fade just pop so much more. And we're using the Sean Cuts Hair template, which you can get from Sean Cuts Hair on Instagram. And then we'll touch it up one more time with the razor. Do a crisscross pattern comb, shake it up a little bit. And guys, this is the cut. So this is the before, and then let me know what you think about the after. Please let me know in the comments, all that good stuff. If you like the cut, smash the like button. And yeah, we're on the road to 500K. I'm gonna continue to drop way more heat, almost daily content. Love you guys. Thank you guys for the continued support, and I'll catch you on the next video.